I'm Tony Holgate, and I'm pleased to be joined by Jimmy Croxton as we look on at the Jack Whelan, Ryan Fleming last 32. How are you, Jimmy?
Very well, thank you. Yourself?
Good man. So what can we expect from this game?
Well, Jack's won a few matches, unlike the rest of us that have just come back from China. All seem to be struggling a little bit with
Weren't you
the
back last week?
marble balls, but yeah, I've tried my best this week to get back in and practice, but struggled all week and just battling through at the minute. But obviously Jack breaks unbelievably well, so when he's giving himself chances like this, is no surprise, and he probably has, for me, probably got the best break off in the game, I think.
Yeah, awesome break. In fairness, does Jack Whelan possess? He was up bright and early this morning. I was at breakfast with him at 7:30. He said he's feeling a little bit better today than he was yesterday. And this is a nice opening opportunity for young Jack.
And Ryan's one of them players that doesn't really get much of a mention, you know, but he is a very, very good player, very capable, dangerous. So, you know, we should expect some really good pool here from these two. Looks like what's going to be a nice opener for Jack here.
Played that nicely. Just the simple stuff to do. And this is exactly the start that Jack Whelan would want. And Whelan wins the first frame with no fuss at all.
Did you not have a game recently there for 20
no,
quid?
I didn't. No, funny enough. No, I didn't.
Was that not you?
No, we're going to forget that little evening. Somebody turned up late, let's just say that, and I'd had one or two shandies more than I should have had. And
yeah, you had a couple. I did notice that.
I was in an extreme state of refreshment. That's probably the best way to put it. I'll let you win.
Yeah, it's nice of you.
I'm a gentleman like that.
I enjoyed my Nando's.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
So, I've got a good record for Nando. I even beat Dave McNamara for Nando, so I must have played well. Because people just don't beat Dave for Nando's, you know what I mean? It just doesn't happen.
Wasn't that a song by ABBA?
He is the Nando's king. It's him or Clint I. Hansen, the Nando's kings. They love a Nando's. But I went yesterday with Jack and Shane. It was very nice. Thank you very much, Tone.
Well, glad we're getting to hear about your trip round Blackpool for the last couple of days. Sure everybody at home's
I went to
sleep.
I finished my dinner much better than I'm finishing the balls at the moment, put it that way.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Well, it's Jack Whelan back at the table once again for the dry break. And these are nicely spread again.
Yeah, just got to make sure he leaves himself this side of the table here, the right hand side of the table for the 8 in the top right hand pocket, but that shouldn't be a problem.
See, I know the old theory, you know, oh, it's a long way to go and this, that and the other. But I'll tell you what, when you sat there and somebody's just dishing up, you can't get into the balls. And all of a sudden, I mean, these matches can fly by. In 10 minutes, you'd be 4-5-0 down.
Yeah.
Get half the game, over half the game's gone.
Yeah.
It's only race of 7.
That's right. He wanted to nudge that red out the way there and just clear the path for the yellow. In the left middle, he's not quite landed where he wanted to, so he's got to reroute here. I think he'll be trying to maybe screw back and leave it into the top left-hand pocket as we look. So a little stun on or off the rail, maybe a little soft screw on or off the rail. He might just play with a little bit of right-hand side actually and drag it. Just like that.
Lovely shot.
Yeah, he's played it to the middle, that's a nice shot. Thought you might have controlled it and played it to top, but played it well.
Of course, there's 2 events here at Blackpool, so you've got another bite of the cherry, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'll take as many bites as I can get at the minute just to get me flow back, get me confidence back. I think, you know, listening to the interview just there in the last match, you know, Scott seems to be in a really good place mentally, and it certainly helps. You know, his attitude's good. He's, you know, he clearly said that you can only make the most of the chances that you get. There's no point worrying about what's happened, and he's absolutely right. It's obviously easier said than done. But if you're in a good place mentally, it certainly helps.
It's amazing what time can heal, because about 6 weeks ago when I was here last, I was commentating with Scott, and he'd been knocked out, and he was that way. He was pretty disillusioned with the game at the time, and he was like, "Oh, I can't hit a ball," and that, and it was really on the downer. And then he's come back and he played well.
Was it off? Oof.
Where's that come from?
And I think that is a sign there of China. I really do, because ordinarily you wouldn't get Jack going anywhere near the enough there. That's just obviously, hitting the ball the way you would, with the bigger balls, and it's so easy to lose this white because it's so small in comparison.
Well, an unexpected miss there by the Wonder. And you will be wondering why.
Enough, you mean?
Enough, yeah.
He didn't miss it, potted it.
Oh, yeah. You know where I'm going.
I do. I know what it is. I'll correct you. You correct me and I'll correct you.
Correct me again and you will know where you'll be going. Well, Fleming now gets his first taste of the main table, and in amongst the balls with pretty much a formality finish on reds. I like Ryan. He can pot a good ball, this man. And I agree with what you said earlier. I think one or two have underestimated Ryan Fleming in the past, and have paid for it as well.
Yeah, it's a dangerous game, underestimating players, and you look at the odds of the tournament before, some of the odds are massive for some names, and obviously they can only go off what they see form-wise and whatever. But it's it doesn't surprise me. Any results don't surprise me at this moment in time.
I did come past the bookmaker out there earlier, and Connor Trace was 5-1 up against Jez Graham, and somebody's putting a bet on Connor Tracy to win the tournament.
Right.
Jez Graham's come back at 175.
Oh, Jez won, did he?
Yeah, incredible performance, to be fair, by Jez Graham. I've watched the last two. I just came into the arena, he had two good finishes. Very, very accomplished and composed. Fleming a little bit straighter than he would have liked on this red into the centre. He would have liked to just get the cue ball further up near that red, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. He's going to just have to leave himself a little bit of an angle, isn't he? In fact, he's pulled back. He's going to drop this red in, and this will be one each. This, of course, for a place in the last 16. He got hold of that cue ball, probably a little bit more than what he expected. And in goes the black, and we're level at one each.
Look at that break. It's amazing that he's not potted one.
That's the thing. I'll tell you what, there's been a bit of that yesterday. There's some tremendous breaks by several players, and they were coming up dry, and you think, well, that didn't deserve to be a dry break. And that's a phenomenal.
How clean he hits them.
Yeah, the explosion of the balls as well when he goes into the pack. Only one plus thing, he's not left an absolute gimme finish.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of work to do with Fleming.
Red ball's in play.
Well, like I said earlier, our last match did end up in a 6-red shootout, but I wouldn't be expecting these two to get anywhere near that. The pace they play.
He's actually landed, I think it's about perfect.
It's not a bit funny here.
Yeah, kudos to him there for trying to sort of play a proper shot, but I think he should have gone into that a little bit firmer and give himself a little bit more of a chance to get something, whereas here now he's got to play a couple of really good shots to get out.
Thinking if he'd had to dribble off the side rail and back off into the red, that's what he attempted.
Yeah, it was tough from there.
It was.
Really tough.
Now can Jack Whelan erase the memory of the last frame? Just having a look at his angle. He's going to looking to try and go into this red and yellow together in the first shot here. If he gets into it, it'd be unlucky not to land on a yellow. Didn't dig deep enough.
Yeah, it was a big angle to try and get it, especially how slidey the tables are. Now then, what do you do from here?
Well,
I don't think he's on anything.
Doesn't seem to be. Long cut up into the top right corner. Unpleasant shot. Played a yellow into the two yellows at the top. Plant them both. One into each corner.
Rather you than me, Tom. I think you just top this cue ball 3 and leave no shot.
I think he attempted a plant there.
Strange shot that. I think if you just played it like a double on and off the cushion and just topped the cue ball through behind the 8 ball there, he'd have left no shot. I think that's what I'd have played. Just give sort of Ryan off a chance here to clear the table. Granted, it's not a gimme. Well, does it go? Does it go past? And can he top it?
It might creep past. I don't know. He'll need an angle to like sort of smash it through at top and kick in. That's the only thing I can really
Seems to be looking at like the plant, the yellow into the red. The way he's kind of looking,
that goes into the jaw, doesn't it?
Well, the way he's looking at it, it's a bit strange, but calls his extension, so it's not straightforward. See what is he looking at here?
I think he's looking at that plant. I think he's looking at putting this red down into the bottom right hand corner and then playing a plant.
Well,
because where he was, you could see he wanted to change the angle of it. So hence potting that ball down into the bottom right.
I'd rather him than me here, I think. Looking at where them balls are,
I don't like
there's
that
no
for the
shot
plant.
at all, is there?
No.
Hold on to your hats.
Well, it's going to prove us both liars if he gets it.
Oh, what a shot that is.
And
what a shot. That is a tremendous shot. Wow.
That is some shot. Incredible. So we're a pair of liars. We have no idea what we're talking about.
We'll mute ourselves in a minute and just stop talking. That's the best thing to do. What a shot that is. That's highlight reel stuff.
Jack's shaking his head. He don't think he can believe that shot that Fleming just played. Down goes the black. Tremendous finish there from Ryan Fleming.
But he needs to start making a ball. You cannot survive by dry breaking at this level.
Can be so cruel, the break.
Be reds for me, but I think they're both okay, apart from these two together here. But definitely got to be reds here for me, I think. He's going yellows. He's not. He's changed his mind, has he? I think I'll be taking reds. We all see it differently. What about you, Tone? What were you saying here? Reds?
I prefer reds just because of those two. The two stuck together and the one on the rail are the yellows. Well, all right then. Just developing like that, Jack.
Let's do that then.
But yeah, for me, reds just looked a bit easier. But Jack Whelan had a plan. He's bumped those two apart. He's just got the one board on the rail, but he's got a yellow next to it to get himself onto that on the rail. So This is a golden opportunity for Whelan to pull back to level scores with Fleming. Do you go to get on that one on the rail now?
Yeah, I think so. So I think he might just be offset on the angle, so maybe just put this one in the bottom left. And,
I think
and then
by removing this one, if it gets rid of any complications to anything that's coming down that rail. Because where the other two were, if you didn't play it with the right pace down the rail, you could end up where you can't pot either of them. I think he's made the wiser decision. Going down the rail now into this bottom left-hand corner. Try and pop the cue ball off the side rail and out into the open. Nicely done. Jack just looking to see where he wants the angle. Does he really want to run to get right up behind that black? I don't think he really needs to. I mean, he could come off with play a lot of top and left hand side and come off the two rails into the, well, towards the blue spots if you like, if he wants to play that firmly, but
that's the shot he will be playing.
It's a bit under hit. It's okay though. Shouldn't phase Jack Whelan pots.
Just composing himself and realigning. His shots are harder than you think when you're used to hitting a big ball, and that's absolutely fine for those who aren't too familiar with the rules.
The Whelan break-off, which Jimmy is such a fan of. I'd like a break like this, to be honest. What gets me, always gets that keyboard coming back fairly straight, and a lot of players were, I mean, there's a couple of warning signs. Eddie Bark was having a little lunge into his break, he's sort of dipping his leg and the ball was bouncing around. As Carl Morris was flirting with a couple of middle bags, but he's pretty consistent, is Jack, with the cue ball control, isn't he?
He is, yeah. I think at the end of the day, you know, it is all down to luck. I mean, you can minimise your risk by getting the cue ball straight up the line, of course, and it's certainly a clean hit, but as long as the ball goes in and the ball's open, that's your aim, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a few players where, like Jack, keeps the cue ball doesn't seem to leave the cloth. Tom Cousins,
yeah,
he slams in. I mean,
just belts it. Yeah,
it's come up to the lights into the ceiling and come back down on the table.
I wouldn't. You wouldn't say it's a good break in the conventional sense, as in, you know, technically it's probably not great, but obviously the result is great. He's always giving himself, you know, opportunities, Tom, and it's no surprise that he's the #1 player at the moment. So,
absolutely, yeah. He's had to dig in a bit as well to stay in. He's had a couple of matches that haven't actually got to the maximum 7 frames to get over the line. It'd been a 6-5. Well, I think 2 6-5s in there, where he's run the clock down, which is unfamiliar territory for Tom Cousins. He'll be on later as well in the last 16 against Eddie Barker. In fact, I think that might even be coming up next after this match on the main table. I think I might still be here for it as well. I think you might have been sacked, Jimmy.
Yeah, no shock there. Yeah.
I think that they know you need to be fed, because you've been complaining that you're hungry for quite some time.
I think it's more the wage bill, to be honest. They need to keep it as low as they can. They can't afford me. Oh, he wanted the kiss.
I don't know. He gets through that level gap.
I think he might be able to, but I think he wanted to kiss it. But I think he might be okay, yeah. Yeah, he can. Just the way he hit it just seemed like he was sort of stunning it to hit the red on the way through. I could be wrong.
Nice shot. He's got to negotiate, bringing the cue ball back up the table, and he chops this into the middle bag.
I think for me here, I think you just soft screw past the yellow, and you play it into the top left. So sort of try and screw into this where this red is here.
So use
on the
red,
right side of the
use
table.
red as a buffer.
Yeah, I don't think he is playing that though, by the looks of it. So that was risky because he was always going to be off angle.
Yeah. I don't think he wanted to get. Obviously, didn't want to get the white down. The yellow down onto that bottom red. I think he just wanted to tap it just past the black ball, and he would have just been able to drop this in. But now,
look at this for a shot. That's great, Kieran.
oof,
What a shot that is! Beautiful shot because it.
Great
Punching
great
it like
shot.
that, you can get bounce outs, and he's hit it as clean as you possibly can.
Carl Morris had one last night or yesterday afternoon to put himself 3-0 up, and it jumped straight back out of the same middle pocket as well. Ironically. Well, what a lovely finish there from Jack Whelan, and he gets his nose back in. Well, he was 1-0 up and went 2-0, 2-1 down, but he's now back in front.
He's given him a bit more of a club.
Got nothing though.
But nothing for it. Frustrating. When you're not making a ball, it's frustrating.
It is indeed. And I can tell you that Sean Chipperfield has got over the line against Paul Clapp by 7 frames to 1, and he will take his place in the last 16. He will play the winner of Peter Mullaney and Tom Jones, and Tom Jones now leads 5-2 in that game. Winner of this match will play Phil Parkin. Got some great lineups coming up later on. Got Tom Cousins against Eddie Barker. That'll be the next match on this table. Also later today, a mouth-watering tie, Sean Story, Luke Gilbert. Hitton Patel, Carl Morris and Gary Clark against Cole Bedford. This will take us through the early part of the afternoon. So plenty to look forward to all day today. An ultimate pool. As Jack Whelan goes about his business. Do you think he wants to just play onto that double? Because do you want to leave that red till last?
Well, I think you can leave it to the bottom right as well. I think he's looking at it in the middle, but I think you can play it to the bottom right if you really needed to.
So I don't know if you wanted to get on the ball and play a thin cut with a low left-hand side, but I don't think the cushion and the cloth will grip the cue ball quick enough to get it back. He's going to play that shot, however. I think you might have it now with this angle, but you've got to really power this to get across there.
Yeah, it will.
It sort of dies off the rail, doesn't it, else?
Yeah. That's a nice shot.
Yeah, play that well. But it's one of them, if you don't give it the full Monty, if you like, you leave yourself with, well, you could even not get on the red at all, because I've seen a few die off there, and Chris Mellon is one of the first to complain about getting across the table coming off cushions.
Lovely.
Yep, looking very assured, Jack Whelan. The dry break once again costing Ryan Fleming. Another boom and...
Wow, again, nothing. But a horrible little cluster at the top of the table. That is smelly.
So when you practice, Jimmy, do you work a bit on your break, or do you not bother?
Well, it's something that I've had to work on for quite a while now. It's certainly getting better. It's better than it was. I've never really had the strongest break. I'm the first to admit it. You know, it's always been one of my Achilles' heels, really. But it's something I've worked on. It's certainly improved. But obviously, I continue to work on it because to compete at the very highest level, things need to go right for you, but there's a lot of luck involved in it as well.
Yeah.
If you're hitting them well and one isn't going in, there's not really a lot you can do. It's when you hit them bad, you know, and one isn't going in well, you can do something about that, can't you?
Absolutely. I was just interested to know how, you know, which players actually spend a lot of time on a break, and I know there's one or two. I remember last year when Yannick Bafis from France was playing, he told me he spent hours of like hitting a boat very meticulous. He'd even have the cue ball where you got one of the dots is pointing straight up to the ceiling, so it had to be exact. Wow, I didn't expect that miss. And he missed that by a bit of a distance there. Fleming down the rail. Caught the cushion on the way down.
Yeah, seemed to sort of snatch at it a little bit, didn't he? Sort of played it very jabby.
Whelan now having a look at the route he's going to try and plan to get into these balls up in this cluster that you alluded to early on, Jimmy.
Into him now.
Yep. Has the angle off this ball into the middle?
Yeah, just needs to hit these right. I'm not sure whether I'd have gone for these. I think I may have just turned the table over, put one of my yellows, potted the red over the bottom right hand corner, put the cue ball on the back rail and just let Ryan open him up here, I think. What shot this is.
Wow.
Well, it's about as good as he could have hoped for. A little bit unfortunate where the 8 ball's finished, but he has still got a path, so...
Well, we're going to see now. They'll have to play a very, very good positional shot to get on that 8.
Yeah, he will.
But at least it's a chance. That's what you want, isn't it? At the end of the day, if it's tucked behind all the reds, you've got none. But
oh, well, as soon as he hit that, he knew he'd missed.
Well, by going into those cluster of balls and getting rid of his own yellow up there, as we see the miss once again. Oh, well wide, wasn't he? With all the side.
Yeah.
I don't know why he could have just dropped it, played the one down the rail a little bit, but he could have left himself an angle there and got around behind those 2 yellows. But anyway, what I was saying is because he's not that cluster apart, he's obviously left the reds all open for Ryan Fleming. And this is a gift. Fleming just getting back up again, wasn't quite happy when he got down onto that shot. Oh, he did not want that kiss. He just wanted to pot that outside red and just come back past it without knocking into it, and he just bumped it onto the rail. And obviously you see where the cue ball's landed now, and that is not in a great place for Ryan Fleming. An unforced error. Pulled out a really good pot there. Oh, well.
He didn't want that kiss off the jaw.
No.
Right smile, because if he just misses that kiss, he lands as good as he can. Lovely pot.
Not only that, he's got a little bit hampered now with this yellow next to the cue ball as well, so he's bridging over that, trying to play a little chop into the corner.
Yeah, and I think even if he gets the pot, he may double kiss the 8 ball and
just
nothing
about
really happens.
Yeah.
I think he's just got to concentrate on the potting and rely on a little bit of luck to get the pot. Nice.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's a lovely shot and a tap from Jack.
Well, he's just teasing us there, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's a good pot, that. Yeah, nice.
Well, we dragged that one out the fire. There's, of course, 2 last 32 matches still to be played. Declan Brennan versus Arfan Dad, and Luke Sanchez versus Stevie Dempsey. They will both be coming up at 1:30 on tables 3 and 2 respectively. At the same time, we will be starting the last 16 on this table, and that will be Tom Cousins versus Eddie Barker. And I will be back with that match as well. Now Fleming with a great chance to draw back level once again. Has anybody caught your eye so far this week? As an outsider, maybe do some damage in there?
Not particularly, no, I'll be honest. I quite like where Scott's head's at. I like what he said in his interview. That's positive. No, not particularly, no. I wouldn't say so. Well, luckily he was touching ball, so it was an easy snooker to play.
I have to say, I did like the end of that, the end of the Jez Graham match there, that comeback against Connor Tracy. The finishes he was taking out and the way he was queuing was fantastic. But then that's just at the tail end of a game. But from 5-1 down to come back like that, you know, he's going to have maybe something to say in this tournament.
Yeah, it takes some doing to come back like that.
And Fleming is on this red with a nice angle. Get back up the table for the other 2. Well, he wanted that little kiss and he got it.
Oh, it's a lovely little nudge.
If you could put that there with your hand, that's where you put it, wouldn't you? Drops this and he leaves himself a little angle and he can choose where he wants to go really with the black. Where's he going to go? He's going to go off the back over to the right hand side rail and play it down now, or just come straight off the top rail and go?
I think I play it with a bit of top left here.
And come down for the black in the bottom
you've got,
right.
yeah, you've got a big gap to go into. You give yourself options where if you stun it and you under it or over it, you could snooker yourself that way. You can never not leave yourself a shot.
He's half listened to you. I'm not sure he was playing to have to play this in the middle.
It's probably landed in the worst possible spot.
Yeah, it is.
Going back to where you're placing it with your hand, that is the place where you wouldn't put it anywhere else but there.
Or behind that yellow at the top.
Even where he is a little bit further away makes it an easier shot, but this is a little dinky, and I think he'll get it, but... Yep. And we are back levels at 4 frames apiece.
Well, finally made a ball off the break, Jack Whelan. First time for a little while.
And I think he is on a red. I think he can get the red closest to the bottom right-hand pocket here, which is a result because yellows are smelly. And if he wasn't on this red, he'd have to go yellows. But luckily he's on it, so I fancy him getting these. That'll do.
Just going to take these 2 reds now at the top of the table, down for the other 3. It's just working his route out. You want to get rid of that red that's next to the black, probably first out of those 3 reds. Let's be fairly straight here if you could just screw back through that gap of those 2 yellows. I think you might have a slight angle here, Jimmy. No, he can dig it through. Choice, you could just drop this in, or we could play a little stun into the black ball and just hold the cue ball. Don't want to stun the black too far over towards the right if he does play that shot. Now then, he just bumped that red. I'm not sure he wanted to do that because he's knocked it next to yellow. He's having a little concerned look now. I think he's okay. But that was not intentional. You see, prime position. This red and the black ball that will be into the right-hand centre pocket for Whelan to restore his lead. Breaking out from Jack Whelan puts him at 5-4 in front against Ryan Fleming.
Nice break.
Good control of the cue ball. Look at the split. Well, take your pick.
Yeah, that's the best he's hit them.
Well, you've got an easy yellow to start with if he decides to go down that avenue, which I think I'd prefer because you've got the red along the bottom rail, but just don't know, the yellows for me just look a little bit more friendly. And what do I know?
Yeah, I think I'd have gone reds.
It's easy to say that in hindsight, Jimmy. It won't be long before we are at the 15-second a shot stage, which comes in force in the last 10 minutes of the match. So being under 3.5 minutes, we'll be visiting that. Well, this is in no way, shape or form easy. Plays a bit of a right hand side and try and bring the cue ball over to the left hand side of the table. Played out very well indeed. That's a great shot.
Yeah, that's a nice shot.
Going to negotiate the cue ball past the yellow that's on next to the black spot. Just come back past there and black into the top corner. And once again, we will be level. Well,
Definitely not what I'd have played, but yeah, whatever you fancy.
look pretty. It's for 5 each. And boom, down she goes.
Well, I talked about that break advantage.
Oh, it's just gone.
But these are far from easy.
Has to be the reds. Just simply for the red at the bottom right, blocking the 2 yellows. It's got this little starter into the centre.
That's a
Now
nice
that
open
red's
shot.
blocking 3 yellows, and he's left himself the cut with his one awkward red at the top of the table. If you make this pot and get that cue ball anywhere past the middle bags, then he's got a right chance. He hasn't led since 2-1.
That's a nice shot. That's a really good shot. He's been a little bit
He's still okay.
unfortunate. He's okay.
Got the red over here that's in front of the yellows. I'm glad I took Ryan in that bet that we had. Oh, he's plumb now.
And that little beep there indicates we're now down to a 15-second shot clock
After this shot.
after this shot.
Also the referee just confirming that. I'd like slightly less angle on this, to be fair, but Ryan just remembering he's still got his extension for this frame and wisely calls it on such an important shot. Oh, he's played that well. Well, 6-5 lead is now on offer for Ryan Fleming to get on the hill. Has he overhit it? No, it's okay. Just going to drop this into the centre and he'll leave himself a shot at the black. Oh dear, is he going to leave himself Chinese snooker? He has. Well. For me, I thought that was a bit greedy. I thought he could have just dropped that in dead weight. He'd have had a thinner cut into the bottom right corner, but he would have been unhampered. This is tough now. Oh, he's played it brilliant.
Yeah, it's a nice shot.
Good shot, Ryan Fleming.
Shouldn't have been there, but it's a nice shot nonetheless.
Anyway, Fleming breaking off, 1 away from a place in the last 16.
Good break.
He has got hold of those. And a ball. And he's on a red. Well, Whelan. Puzzled. It's just the red that's below that yellow on the right-hand side, bottom of the table. It's the tricky one. Black also not massively available.
Could he maybe screw into it now? Could he maybe just not get it out the way? Because he's going to leave himself a shot in the bottom left-hand pocket. I think he is playing that shot. No, he's not. Thought he was going to sort of screw down the table there, and he's not played the best shot there, has he?
He's kept his he doesn't use his extension, so he still has that. I think he might want to use it very shortly. And there it is. Obviously saving it for a trickier shot, which I don't blame him. Oh, that's a nasty nudge. Yep, he's put that. It's another red safe now, and well, is he still looking to go game? I was going to say I thought he might opt for a safety approach from here. Still plenty of time on the clock, 7 minutes. So it's not as if he's going to be able to run the clock down. Playing a decent containing shot. See, this is the thing now, Jimmy. He wants to nudge a red out, but you don't want to nudge all the yellows out with it.
That's right. Oh.
Well.
He's on it as well, you know.
Did he play that? Did he?
He's definitely played the plan.
That's
100% played the plan.
Yeah. Didn't see it. Never saw it.
And he's on it.
He is.
If you can just spin out here with a little bit of side and not hit the yellow, that's perfect.
Black goes in the middle.
It does.
Well. Well, that's incredible. He's just picked Jack Whelan's pocket here for the match. Well, my word. That has come out of nowhere.
Yeah, it has. It absolutely has.
This for the match. Down it goes, and Ryan Fleming. Fantastic performance from him, beating Jack Whelan 7 frames to 5 and earning his place in the last 16.